This place is so cool. Could it be that I was deceived that India was disordered? Is that real? We'll find out. Look at that, just take a look! That's a monkey stealing the food of the man over there! I can't believe it! Sir! Sir! I think you never really get prepared to come to India for the first time. Oh my God! Run! Welcome to India! Hello, what's up my friends? Welcome to a new video. For those who don't know me, my name is Gabriel Herrera and...
Welcome to India!
Yeah! That's right friends, as you saw in the title of this video, today we are in a country considered a subcontinent due to how big it is. In addition to being one of the most populated countries in the world, together with China. This is India. My friends, we are finally in this chaotic but very interesting country. And before arriving here to Delhi, where we are at this moment, because we had to make a trip from Lebanon, specifically from Beirut, and from there we are going to get here, not without before telling you many things about this country. Let's go, my friends. That's right guys, and to get to India, to the capital of the country, we had to travel from some place. And that place has been Beirut, the capital of Lebanon. And from here we have been making incredible videos throughout this country, and you cannot miss it if you did not see the previous series. We will leave from this place, and right there we have the port of Beirut, where the great explosion happened about 2 or 3 years ago in the year 2020. From these streets on this beautiful day, we are going to go to the Beirut airport because we are going to take our flight from there, and then we have to make a stop in a country where we had already been at some point last year. Bye Ali! My friends, it is still midnight and we are waiting for our flight to depart. That should be in about 40-45 minutes maybe, that's what I think. And we are taking advantage of the internet, and that's because there is good internet here in Kuwait. And we were also hungry and got some food. In fact, I ate some chicken and Angie bought chicken too with vegetables. Ramon also bought some chicken too, because Ramon has problems with spicy food. He has a very bad time with spicy food.
I have a hard time with the spicy food.
Long story short.
If it doesn't make me, it makes me.
I think we are going to start boarding. I believe we are the only foreigners. I can't believe we are really going to board this flight. There is a lot of noise, but I will tell you about the food. Because if we have heard anything about India, is that the food is very different, especially the street food. Maybe we are going to have a cultural shock in that sense, and we want to get ready because we don't know what is going to really wait for us. Meanwhile, we are going to board this flight and finally arrive in New Delhi, which is our destination. There they are. The flight attendants are screaming to people who are in a rush. They are discussing with people so they sit down because the plane just landed and it has not arrived at the gate where we are going to get off, and people are already getting their things. Bye, thank you. Well friends, we have arrived. We are already here inside the airport. We are going to look for the exit and go through migration. The airport is pretty nice. It has air conditioning, it is clean and seems ordered. And being honest, unlike the plane, it is quite calm. And honestly, it is one of the airplanes I've been where people have left faster.
Well, we were in row number 10, and there was no possibility to leave
We
before.
did not have
it
a
had to be
chance.
the last ones. There was no possibility.
In fact, we had to wait for the last person to leave the plane for us to lower the carry-ons and be able to leave because most of the people began to grab the suitcases as soon as the plane touched land, and they just didn't care, and the flight attendants were shouting at them, sit down, that's the first time I see that. Well, to that level.
Well, the truth, this gives you a little idea of the crazy lives that these people live in here, and that they are alert, like everything has to be fast.
And for them, it's super normal. Okay, my friends, the first thing you have to do is fill out this form with your details as soon as you arrive. Friends, welcome to India. Yeah! Now we are going to go through migration. Wow, take a look at that. It is just so cool. Honestly, the airport is impressive. I did not think it was going to be so great. It also has air conditioning. It is wide, big, and it is beautiful. What a surprise. My friends, we have a new passport stamp. New Delhi, here we come. Take a look, here is our friend who is going to take us to the hotel. He was waiting for us right here. My friends, what can I say? Being really honest, the airport is really ordered, modern, large, massive, and the environment is actually super quiet and not that noisy at all. At least this section. Maybe I was deceived about India and it is ordered? It's quiet? We don't know. We will get to the city center to discover that. But what I can tell you right now is that it's getting really hot. Hot
I have a sweater here.
weather, and we came to be cool in Lebanon because there were very cold days, even rainy days, and depending on where we were in Lebanon, sometimes it was even cold when we were up the mountain, but we have hot weather here. Thankfully, I brought clothes for such purpose, and the date on which we are visiting India is mid-April. Well, it seems that they are making improvements to the airport. Look at this part, flowers, benches. You've seen they are making this entire area new. A very good impression of India at the arrival of this airport. Is someone having fun today? If you are wondering how to get to the city center from the airport, you can do it in different ways. You can hire a taxi or even use the Ola app, which is the one used right here on India, but they also recently have the Uber app. So you have those two options. In case you don't want to waste a lot of time, you can do it directly on the app. Of course, there are several more ways, and you can also take into account that negotiating gets you anywhere. So keep that in mind. And now let's take a look at the car plates. You know I like to see these. These are Indian plates, and this is yellow, and we also have a white background. And it has the initials right here. Details. What do you notice a little different? Honestly, I was going to get on that side and the steering wheel is on the right side. And I said, wow, I'm not going to drive at all. For you to know, the wheel on India is on the right side. It feels weird whenever one comes to this country. I don't know if it will be a tradition to put a seatbelt on here, but I am going to use it because I've heard a lot of things about the road. Come on, get on. We don't want to leave you.
I think the sweater is now completely useless for me, Gabriel.
Ah, now you despise my sweater, Ramon. How
Yeah.
convenient. Look, the belt is on. Ah.
A cow!
Hey, look, that's a cow. A cow.
A very
the first cow we
beautiful
see.
cow.
Take a look. There's another. Wow, here's another one. One there. There's another one. Two more. What does a French woman think of seeing cows in the streets?
Do you like cows, Olivia?
Yes, I love them a lot.
being honest, something that really calls my attention is that of all the trips we've made so far, this man has been the quietest driver we have ever had. He has not said a single word. I don't know the man's tone of voice since he received us with the little sign. I mean, nothing. He hasn't even tried to ask us where we are from or anything
Not
else.
even at the moment of receiving us, right?
No, not at all.
Nothing.
Ramon did talk to him because we wanted to buy a SIM card at the airport. I didn't because I have the Ola Fly one. Then I don't have that problem when I arrive to the country of having a SIM card. If you also want to purchase one through your email and place it before arriving at the destination and be already connected just when landing, click here. I leave you my promotional code, which has 5% of discount, which is very good. Going back, the man just nodded with his head like that. And that's it. The man does not speak. Not at all. Well, we are already getting closer to the center. We are already seeing buildings a little older, a little more like, not chaos, but a little more traffic. And people too. Take a look. This is another way of transportation here. These bikes have the capacity to carry 2 people.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
People already began to arrive, or maybe we began to reach the people. And so New Delhi receives us. Look at this. There's the entry. Hey, watch this.
Wow, that looks amazing.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah,
And look at the amount
Wow,
of
I love it.
food. Even the number of businesses here. The signs. That's a lot. Look at that is in the wall. It's a public bathroom in the open air, obviously just for men. Well, later we'll record it in more detail. That's right here on the side of the entrance to New Delhi. We are already close to the lodging. We are 6 minutes away, which are barely 950 meters, but we have to go through streets like the one we are passing, full of businesses, people, a little trash, well, a lot of trash, and wow, this is going to be interesting. I remember the South Korea markets, but with a slight difference. What would you say? What is the difference between them? My friends, I think we have arrived at our
Hey,
lodging.
the photos seem quite different, didn't
I
it?
think it did. Yeah. Thank you, sir. My friends, we arrived. Indian soil. Here is our hotel. We're going to take a look and take our suitcases.
Well, let's see if everything doesn't fall. No.
Everything under control. Wow, the decoration is interesting. A little exotic.
Yeah?
Well, we are checking out an issue with the reservation because it looks like a room for 5 people was reserved through the app to rent hotels, the famous one. But the man says that a room for 5 people is not available. Apparently, the issue is that it doesn't have the capacity, but then on the app it seemed to be available, it seemed to be possible. We are solving the issue because we have to be very careful in these type of things because sometimes it can happen that they tell you that just to get a little more money from you. I'll tell you that. Look, here is the room. Is this supposed to be a bed?
Yes?
And that's
there's
the other
another
one? Do you mean we are going to sleep 3 in one
No,
bed?
because from what I understand, the man is going to bring something else
Only
here.
one
What is
bed?
Oh
this?
my god. Take a look at that. This bed looks more like just furniture. Hey, this is going to be interesting. Well, very low privacy.
Low privacy.
Very
In fact,
low.
Almost none.
I already said that I sleepwalk. And in a certain way. Let's take a look at this bed.
We
This bed
need
is
to
very
raffle this
big.
out.
3 people could sleep here easily. Whomever sleeps in this bed sleeps in 3. We have a TV, we have fans, and there is also air conditioning, but I don't know if it will be working. The bathroom, let's see. Ooh, there's a bucket in the bathroom, okay? I suppose it is because sometimes the water might not have enough pressure. Oh, it works. That's perfect. Then we have the throne here, sink, mirror too. Now let's see, we have a little window here, a little fridge right here, which is empty. How much did this cost? $130 for nights.
5 people? Not too bad.
Look, this is costing... Ramon is traumatized with the bathroom bucket. This is costing to $6.50 per night per person, so you can take it into account for a place like this. I think it is one of the cheapest hotels I've stayed in my life.
It does not have bugs. That's good.
No. It is pretty decent. Pretty
It's
decent.
considering the area.
Yeah.
Well, we have to raffle this bed out.
What?
we are three.
I don't understand.
Forget
This,
What
this
do you
bed
mean?
needs to be
What
raffled.
do you mean by tree? What do you
Olivia,
mean?
Angie, and
What
me.
do you mean?
It's ours. Since Olivia is our friend, I believe we own the big bed.
I don't know. No problem. We'll stay there.
Ah,
I think
I
Angie and
found
I can
sheets
sleep there.
Anyway, the man said that he was going to bring something. That's what I understand, that he was going to bring a mattress.
Now what we are going to do is we'll leave our bags, maybe brush our hair a little, and go out to the streets at once. Well, Ramon was the first one who said that we had to lose shyness because since we had to share a bathroom, well, I am going to show you something that I thought curious, and it is the fact that there is an ashtray next to the toilet. I mean, it must be very important to them to be smoking at all times because look, it actually has ash. So it has been recently used. What do you think, guys? That is new for me. An ashtray next to the toilet and well fixed with screws. It was not left there. But well, look, we already washed our faces, we brushed our hairs, refreshed a little, same clothes, but we're going out. The surroundings of the lodging where we are staying, the truth is that it's a simple view. It looks actually pretty and it's interesting. Also, the style is super particular, but right now we have to leave the comfort of the lodging and go to the streets even if we are exhausted. It is right now 11 in the morning right here, and we took a little rest and now we are ready to go to the streets. The surroundings of the hotel are very complicated with the issue of the electrical system. It is so complicated that also garbage is falling down and stuck in there from the cables. I don't really know how they keep the electrical system working. Here we cannot
They
talk
get
that
inside
much
your
because
mouth.
flies could get into our mouth. Look at the cables, you can almost touch them. That's a kid riding a motorcycle, okay? He might be 10 years old maybe. And in the middle of this chaos, you can find horses. Take a look at that. That's crazy. I mean, I did not imagine that the degree of chaos was like this. I thought it was a particular area, but as we arrived in the center of the city, everything was like this. Oh, that's stress. You don't know the degree of stress that walking on the street causes because suddenly anyone with a motorcycle or a 3-meter stick comes right at you. Tuk-tuks, people walking bicycles. My friends, we are officially in the Republic of India, also known as Indostan. That's right. That last name was introduced during the Mughal Empire and widely used since then. Its meaning has varied, referring to a region that includes northern current India and Pakistan, or to India in its entirety. This country is in South Asia. It is the 7th largest country by area. It is so big that it is considered a subcontinent, and it is currently the country that is disputing together with China to be one of the most populated in the world with more than 1.4 billion people. And well, don't you think we are in the streets which maybe tourists do not travel or which are not very common? Because look, here is a hotel, so that's what the streets look like. At any time, anywhere where we are going to go, there is garbage everywhere and it looks like a little disaster. There are all kinds of stores either to buy things or to eat, look, shoes, sewing places and much more. Take a look at the motorcycle which is playing a horn to make a way through the crowd. This is completely insane. Look, beyond maybe talking to the camera, I will always try to talk to you with the camera facing to the front so you can realize every single detail of this place because everything is worth seeing and I don't want you to miss anything at all. Bound by the Indian Ocean to the south, the Arabic Sea to the southeast, and the Bay of Bengal to the southeast, it shares land borders with Pakistan to the west, China, Nepal, and Bhutan to the north, and Bangladesh and Myanmar to the east. In the Indian Ocean, India is close to Sri Lanka and the Maldives. Its Andaman and Nicobar Islands share a sea border with Thailand, Myanmar, and Right now we pass some food stalls and they are right next to all of this garbage, which might make it a little difficult to taste street food in India. There's a motorcycle. Hi, sir. Here is a kind of ceramic market. Oh, lady, you have thrown some garbage at me. Well, I cannot describe the smell that you sent here. It seems like a garbage dump. And the smell was, There they sell canned use, but I don't think it's a very good idea to buy it there. These are food stalls, and these are more formal places. And there we have the entrance that says New Delhi. Well, we are entering New Delhi. You really have to be very careful with the traffic because you could really be run over. Look at what a huge cow is there transiting along with the cars and the motorcycles. Look at that. And that suddenly has that function because suddenly you can see a cow in the middle of the avenue and it's just walking around there. Well, I think that here we had to enter the metro station because we are guided by the GPS, and the train station is not less chaotic than the street we were a moment ago. It's a lot of noise. The speakers do not stop sounding. A huge amount. Look at the trains there. And like the cars, people also go in the direction toward there on the left and on the opposite side to the right. Well, and talking about all of these people that we are seeing around us, I have to comment on the name of this country. And the reason is that here in India, my friends, people are Indians for men and women. But the term Hindi is also used, but this is only for people who practice Hinduism, and not all of the Indians practice Hinduism. This is something that must be taken into account because there are mistakes, there are confusions about it. And I accept that I have been confused in that situation at some time. The Indians are the people from here, from India, but also if they practice Hinduism, they can be referred to as Hindus. Right now I had a little setback because one of these guys who ride in the tuk-tuk offered me a ride, but I didn't take it because we really like to walk from one place to another in order to have a wider view of the whole country and have the opportunity to share it with you guys. And it is better to walk than to ride the tuk-tuk unless you're already going to return to a place you had already been before. The story is that the man got me so cornered with his tuk-tuk that there was a point where I couldn't keep walking. And then his tuk-tuk and I remained almost stuck to a wall, impossible to keep going. Then the man had to get his tuk-tuk out of the way for me to go through. And I told him, let me go. So definitely, guys, that was complicated. Oh my God, look at where we have to go through. It gets a little more chaotic every time. Wow, that bus almost rides all over the tuk-tuks. The number of car, motorcycle, and bus sounding horns is absurd. Remembering what I told you before about the crowds here in India, if you're watching this video and you are located in America, there might probably be an indigenous community in your country, and it is highly probable since they are present in 19 American countries. Okay, I don't want to imagine the chaos that is crossing this intersection. There is a traffic light in the middle, but I think it's completely disabled or ignored. We are going to take the pedestrian crossings as we can. Whoa! I did not take into account the direction of the cars here. I was going to cross the street just looking to one side. Even this motorcycle wants to go through that street towards the opposite side of the road. That said, you probably don't know the reason for these communities of people to be known as Indians. You heard it right, but let's talk a little about that. Run! Might it be that all of these people come from this country? Well, no, and I'll explain why. Everything happened after the voyages of Christopher Columbus in 1492. He was seeking to reach a route towards Asia that would allow to avoid passing through the eastern Mediterranean, then blocked by the Turks. Columbus' calculations in excessive optimistics led him to think that the western route was shorter than it is in reality. Arriving to America within the period that their calculations indicated that they would arrive, in this case to the coast of Saipangus, the present Japan, he didn't recognize the territory, and in that confusion, he thought he got to India. That's right, my friends, the generic name for the Far East Asia. The discovery of America was not recognized at first, and it would have not been until years later until Americo Vespuccio discovered the mistake. The natives of the discovered lands were called, by virtue of the confusion, Indians, which, by the way, regarding Americo Vespuccio, the continent we know today as America was given in his honor. I don't think it is a very good idea to get water from here. I really don't recommend it, but there's another option right there. Here comes the group. Quite an adventure, right, guys?
The weather is really hot right now.
The heat is a lot.
We're done with it.
It's
so
hot,
done.
but I believe it's more the chaos and stress that this buckle generates you, right? But that's the situation.
Here we go, that's right, surviving. And well, even though the discovery of Vespuccio corrected the cartography, the name Indians to the natives remained until nowadays. For example, in most European languages, the word Indian is the same one to refer to both people from India and indigenous American people too. Ramon, are you a fan of sugar cane?
No, not that much.
Why,
No.
Ramoncito? Have some juice.
No.
A little glass of juice.
Do you want
He doesn't
me
want to be in the bathroom all day
restroom
long. But these
24/7?
people really
No,
like it.
No.
I really don't know why Ramon is so afraid of drinking a cane juice here. And I know that many people would say, oh, maybe I drink it, but I don't know. We'll see in the comments who would take cane juice or who would not, or maybe even another outcome. There is a water well where you can get water from. If we really ask ourselves if that is clean, I don't really know. Now take a look at this curious bookstore in the middle of the street. A little messy, but there it is. Okay, the amount of cables that are out there is really impressive. I don't really know how they are holding up. A marvel of civil engineering. How many precaution measures do you take in your country to transport gas tanks? Well, here they tie them to a bicycle and they take them to the streets and these kind of places without any kind of precaution. There is someone sleeping at a truck. Look at peculiar foods. They are like some peppers that after they put them into a kind of dough there, breaded, then they fry them. Look at the final outcome that's laying over there. Take a look at how they protect things right here with a lockbox, and that's it. And now telling you a little about the history of this country, I should say that modern humans arrived in the Indian subcontinent about 55,000 years ago from Africa. Their long occupation, initially in various forms of isolation as hunter-gatherers, have made that the region here is very diverse, exceeded only by Africa in terms of human genetic diversity. Walking, we have arrived at the Jama Masjid Mosque, one of the largest and most impressive in all Asia. It was built by the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan between 1644 and 1656 at a cost of 1 million rupees, and was inaugurated by an imam from Bukharan, located in present Uzbekistan. The mosque was completed in 1656 with 3 large doors, 4 towers, and 2 40-high minarets built from stripes of red sandstone and white marble too. And now we are going to enter, and they are offering some slippers here which cost 300 rupees for men and 350 rupees for women, because they have to lend them some kind of dresses to cover their shoulders. Well, many people come here to say their prayers. And as you can see, this patio can accommodate more than 25,000 people. There are 3 domes on the roof that are surrounded by the 2 minarets that are these that you see right here on screen. Now look at the people who come here, and in these waters right here, they wash their hands, rinse their mouth, and the water is returned to the fountain. They wash their feet, and this gutter right here is meant for that. But being honest, the water doesn't look very clean. Notice how people grab it, rinse their mouth, and throw it back there. And now many people is following Angie in order to have a photograph because it isn't common to find a blonde woman like her in India.
My feet are burning and they're asking me
No
for
problem,
photos.
you can do it. Look, all of them have asked for a picture, all of them. Yet the floor
It's
is really
burning.
hot.
I couldn't even start. No, it's very hard to work in India for the content creators. It's very complicated.
Yes, because everyone wants pictures.
Photos with the women.
With you. They are even taking pictures of her. Look, they keep taking photos of Angie and she has not been able to record her video. Everyone wants a picture with her. Take a look. Another group approaches to Angie. She's getting a lot of attention here in India because many people want pictures with her and she has not been able to work. The reason for them to wash their hands, their feet, the head, the body is because before praying they have to do this ritual and wash their body first and then they go to the little mosque to pray. Angie, how did those moments felt when people wanted a picture with you?
It feels good that people want to take a picture with you. I don't know why, but alright. I have not been able to work, I have not been able to do anything. When they see me standing, they ask me for a photo.
Jama Masjid was commissioned in the 17th century by the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan after transferring the capital of the country, Delhi. It took more than 6 years and 5,000 workers to complete the work of the great Jama Masjid. This Mughal emperor is also credited for some important works such as the Taj Mahal, so of course India was never the same after his reign, until the moment I was telling you the name of the place wrong, but some people corrected me and told me that it is Jama Masjid. That's right, forgive me, but until you are in the places and people start to listen to you, they can tell you. It's pronounced like that. Taking advantage of the fact that we are in this place, I will tell you more about the history of this country, and it is that at the beginning of the medieval era, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, and Zoroastrianism established on the south and west coast of India. Central Asian Muslim armies intervened intermediately the North Indian plains and finally founded the Sultanate of Delhi and already brought North India to the cosmopolitan networks of medieval Islam. And even though we are not as popular as the girls who are being asked for photos, people come up and say hello and ask you for a photo. Do you have fans, Ramon?
The thing is, my feet are burning.
Hey guys.
I understand.
Hi.
Angie's dealing there with her fans too.
Shalom.
1, 2, 3.
Welcome to India.
This is a typical or traditional Muslim hat. Islam.
It's Islam.
Islam. It's carried on the head. The boy had it on. See how he wears it, and that's how it fits him. Well, look, I don't know what happened over there. They were giving one of the boys a problem, and he began to ask for a picture, and they began to say, no, go in again. And then Angie went out. She was removing some things, and then the boy wanted to take a picture with Angie and me, and then they began to claim him even louder. And I don't know if it was the fact that Angie was taking some of her clothes off and the boy could not take a picture with a girl who maybe wasn't that covered. I don't really know. It wasn't very clear for me, but they made a huge problem to the boy. And furthermore, they took a picture of him, and one of the managers told him that he couldn't leave until he was taken a picture. And just until the photo was taken, he was led back into the temple. I don't know if they are going to call his attention. I really don't know, but due to the situation, if you imagine what happened, please leave a comment down below. These kind of places are actually dumps, and you can even find them next to food stalls. They are all over the city, and there is so much garbage that is generated that they have to have it every 3 or 4 blocks. Going back to history, the Mughal Empire in 1526 marked the beginning of 2 centuries of relative peace, leaving a legacy of luminous architecture. Then the government of the British East India Company was gradually extended, converting India into a colonial economy, but also consolidating its sovereignty. There are a lot of bike selling places, as it is a very important way of transportation here in India, and all of these bicycles are brand new. Throughout all of the city there are these types of barriers, which I believe they are meant to prevent the passage of larger vehicles beyond the motorcycles, and so they manage traffic control in some places of the city, and they are distributed all over the city. Wow, look at this! A temple with some little monkeys, and Angie is requested with some more pictures. Take a look. They are fined with 20,000 rupees if the vehicles pass, and it is prohibited from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Yeah, I see that there is a tuk-tuk here, but I don't see the drawing of a tuk-tuk.
That's
there.
right. I
It
have
must be
also
that
seen
tuk-tuk is
motorcycles
allowed.
pass by. There are a lot of buildings which are almost in ruins, and you can find them all over the city.
There are
Oh,
lots of people
wow,
back there.
the amount of people here is actually really impressive. I think you never get prepared to come to India for the first time, even though you see television programs, documentaries, news about the country, or even if you read a little. Being here is a completely different situation, and you actually realize what a great chaos. I truly don't understand how people can be in the same situation every single day, because
pressure.
we actually feel pressured because you have a constant stress, especially due to
I mean, your life is
vehicles.
at risk. If you're
Yeah.
not paying attention, you can get a leg hurt or they might step on you. Several times during the moments that they were asking me for photos, many people stepped on my feet and they did not realize it. I mean,
Yes. You have to be careful and have 400 eyes.
yeah.
Guys, do you feel the stress?
More than stress is. I feel overwhelmed.
I
Yes.
feel really overwhelmed.
Overstimulated. What do you think, Angie?
I don't know, I'm tired.
The poor
I'm
one is
really tired.
Let's go there. Come on.
This is good to see. Here, they actually respect the traffic lights, and all of those tuk-tuks are about to come here and make the streets their own. Many times we are going to find signs saying that the water is pure and safe, like this one over here. Because if this country is famous for something, it's because it doesn't really have good drinking water. I mean, you're not going to get it that easily at all. So you have to check out where you buy your water, preferably that it is bottled water with a sealed lid to avoid possible diseases. About the government by the British Crown that was in India for some time, that is the reason that today India has also an English language. And they also have right steering wheel and left side driving too. Well, and you can go quietly walking through the street in India, and you can even meet a monkey. Take a look at that. What am I seeing? Is that a monkey? Oh, he's stealing the food from the man over there. Take a look at that. He's stealing the food from the man on the floor. Sir. Hey. Monkey, leave that. Hey. The monkey's actually stealing his food. My friends, we are in a country where monkeys steal food from people who are living on the street. And even though we yelled loudly at that sir, he just doesn't get up. And the monkey is stealing the food over there. This is inaudited what I'm seeing. I mean, I have no words for this. He did not care that the monkey was eating his food, even though I woke him up, because there was nothing to do. Well, we are exhausted from so much sun, from so much walking, and we are going to go to another emblematic place in the city, but now we are using transportation in order to have the experience of using it. I mean a tuk-tuk. I believe we are going to use these ones. which are mechanical, over the ones which are like a bicycle ones. And we will see how much they charge us. I think they are quite cheap. They can cost up to 20 cents of a dollar for a trip, but they can overcharge tourists over $1, or that's what we've been told. So we are going to see how much they charge us, because we are 20 minutes from our destination.
How much?
How much?
5 people,
Dollars.
100 rupees. Indian 100 rupees.
Hey guys, I am lucky because I found 10 rupees in the tuk-tuk.
Let's go there. Oh my god.
Okay.
Be careful with Angie, because if you don't. Oh god.
Our first experience in a tuk-tuk here in India. We are going to see if we survive. Well, my friends, how many likes for the lucky build that I got here in this tuk-tuk? And of course, in a video of first impressions in India, you could not miss the experience of going in a tuk-tuk. Well, look, they are everywhere. They get in every place, and that is what you will see the most in here. I really can't stretch my hand that much, because if I do so, I could accidentally hit someone, or even a car, a bike, or a cow that might be on the crowded road. We have arrived to our destination. Be sure to check your belongings. Everything looks good. Everything is right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, bye bye.
Thank you. Bye. My friends, and meanwhile we have arrived at the Red Fort, which is the building over there, and I think it's obvious why it has that name. Since it was built with that sandstone, which has that particular red color, and is one of the most known places to see here in Delhi. It was built in the year 1638 and 1648, and this incredible complex impresses for its huge walls of more than 6 kilometers long and a height of more than 30 meters, and also for its two impressive doors of access, the one of Delhi and the one of Lahore as well. Take a look at Angie, she's taking selfies again, very famous.
If I don't leave, there are lots of people lining up.
I think they have her much worse. There are many people. The problem is that when one asks you for photos, everyone else wants a photo too. And if we start giving everyone a photo, it is very, very difficult, because there are more than 30 people here. Much more than 30 people, so we have to escape a little, because it attracts a lot of attention for them to see foreigners with a different skin tone. And it is also a little curious for us as well, because unless we go to a country where we actually have many friendly subscribers that might recognize us on the street and ask us for pictures, that might be familiar, but in this case, where we do not have many subscribers, this seems a little new. But well, I'll tell you more about the complex where we are, which covers 49 hectares that were declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO in 2007. That's the reason why every year it receives so many curious visitors, and furthermore, its name really makes sense. Because as you see the reddish color of the sandstone, you will know it. History claims that the Red Palace of Delhi was a palace of Shah Jahan in his new capital, Shah Jahanabad, the 7th Muslim city now occupied by Delhi. It is said that Shah Jahan brought the capital from Agra to give the kingdom more prestige, and thus have the ideal place to carry out his construction projects. What is the Red Fort of Delhi like today? In the year 1638, the construction of the fort began, and it took 10 years to complete this project. It is located in the extreme eastern part of Old Delhi, and its name comes from the walls built by means of the red sandstone along its 4 sides. Look, we are surrounded. I mean, this is for us, okay? Yeah.
Hello.
Well, we have to go because this is really getting a little out of control, and there are too many people asking us for photos. And Angie?
I don't know.
Angie! Look at all these people around us. They are... Look, he's recording a vlog maybe. Yeah!
Look at this other YouTuber here.
It's crazy.
How are you doing it, Gabriel?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Weird.
It's weird. Yeah, it's really weird.
Really weird.
Well, I really don't understand how Luisito Comunica records videos, for example, when he's in Mexico City, where everyone knows him, and always having a lot of people like this. The truth is that I get him, because it is impossible to work. It is a lot of pressure.
It's hard. I'm not stealing camera here. I just want to be close to Gabriel because
That's
there's
right,
many
you have to
people
get
here
away
right now.
little by little. Well, I'll tell you a little more while they ask us for photos and they hug Angie and all of the other guys. India has been an independent republic since 1950, governed through the democratic parliamentary system. Well, we wanted to enter to the fortress, but the entrance is purchased at these ticket offices, which are full of people. I don't know if we are going to be able to do it. The truth is that we don't know. Look at this place, it's full of people, and besides today is Sunday, which makes it more difficult to record this video because there's many more people than usual. The line to enter starts here and it goes all the way up to there, which is the big entrance. India is a pluralist, multilingual and multi-ethnic society, but what language is spoken here in this country? What languages do all of these people here speak? As you must know, India is an extremely large country in dimensions and population. It has a huge cultural wealth that has always been nourished by all those cultures that have passed throughout its lands throughout history. All these cultures have left their mark on the history of this country, as in its gastronomy, traditions, and also on their languages and dialects. Here in India, there are 22 different official languages, being the Hindi the most spoken, in addition to 400 languages and almost 2,000 dialects. In India, most of the population is multilingual. They can speak English, Hindi, and another language too. But for example, in the north or south states, they usually communicate in English because there in that region, they usually do not speak Hindi. My friends, this is just completely a total chaos, okay? I mean, I don't see any available space without some person being on it. On my friends talking about the 10 rupees bill that I found before, we have not been able to exchange money to see all of the Indian bills available, which I always show to you, but this works as an example about the diversity of languages that you will find here. And on the rear of the bills, we can read in 15 different languages the amount of the bill. Can you see that on this column? That's something new to me. Let's see, how many of those who are watching this video right at this moment are saying, I couldn't visit a country like that? Let's see how many people. Let's get a number. You can help me count it by just leaving a like on this video if you have thought this at some point. I mean any point of this video. But I'll tell you something. Surely if you come to India, you will be surprised because it is a total adventure. It is a country that might not be meant for any tourists because of the total chaos, but I can assure you, you are going to learn and know and enjoy a completely different country, perhaps from those you are used to visit. You are going to learn from a different culture, totally different experiences, especially for example if you come from European countries which are super quiet, relaxed, without many people. In most cases, traveling here and listening to all of this noise will be something definitely unforgettable. And that leads us to comment why this country is so chaotic, and it is due to its superpopulation. We are talking about India going from having 560 million people in the 50s to currently having more than 1.4 billion people according to the last census. The first person was injured already because I went to tell the boys over here, and when I stretched out my arm, a tuk-tuk passed by and I accidentally hit someone in the head and I said I'm sorry, but it is almost inevitable. They are the ones who are coming behind me and it doesn't matter, they just go through the street until the moment I have not told you this information. I think you should know it by now. Talking about the overpopulation of the country, we are in the country that could become very soon, if not already, the most populated country in the world. And the reason is that some organizations are estimating that India has already happened to be the most populated country in the world, taking the throne from China. These estimates are being made by the World Popular Review, and also the UN has given out some estimates. The UN forecasts say that India could exceed 1 billion people in the next months, and if that figure is correct, well, India wins over China. But we are speculating because that number hasn't been confirmed, and the reason is the exact population of India is unknown at the current time. The update of the census a decade ago for 2021 was delayed indefinitely due to the pandemic, but everything points to an exponential growth. Going through some places requires a strong stomach because the smell, well, is a smell that I had never smelled in my life, and it isn't good. I really don't know how to describe it, but I will always remember that smell when I remember India, which is a particular smell, and it's not the people, no. There are some places where I don't know if there's a bathroom nearby or if it just smells like garbage that accumulates in some sites, which is probably why it smells like that in some places, but it always smells the same, exactly the same. And it may be here or on the other side of the city and it smells the same. Well, the population of India is expected to continue to grow until at least 2050. The Chinese population is contracting slightly. This contraction, along with the continued growth of India, is expected to result in India replacing China as the world's most populated country very soon. During the same time, their nominal per capita income increased from $64 a year to $1,498, and its literacy rate from 16.6% to 74%. From being a comparatively poor country in 1951, India has become a fast-growing, major economy and a hub of information technology services with an expanding middle class. What do you think about that, my friends? Also, India has a space program including several alien missions. Furthermore, movies, music, and its spiritual teachings are becoming more globally known in comparison to the past, my friends. While it is true that India has substantially reduced its poverty rate, this has been at the cost of generating more inequality. And talking about the flag we have here, the Indian flag is composed of 3 equal horizontal stripes in orange, white and green, with a blue wheel in the center. The design of the flag was adopted on July 22, 1947, shortly before the independence of India from the United Kingdom. The color orange represents courage and sacrifice, white symbolizes truth and peace, and green represents faith and prosperity. The blue wheel in the center is known as the Ashoka chakra and has 24 spokes, which symbolize the virtues of the Buddha. The chakra is also a symbol of progress and constant renewal. In summary, the Indian flag is an important symbol of the struggle and sacrifice of the nation to achieve its independence, as well as the values of truth, peace, faith, and prosperity on which the nation is based. By the way, India is a nuclear weapons state with very significant spending on the military. It has its disputes over Kashmir with its neighbors Pakistan and China, and these are unresolved since the mid of the 20th century. Among the socio-economic challenges it faces include gender inequality, child malnutrition, and increasing levels of air pollution. We will talk more about that in detail in the video This is Life in India, and in which you won't believe much of what I'm going to tell you, but that you can actually see. Well, for the first time, we received a greeting from an Indian and he told us Namaste. Namaste is a very, Indian greeting, and it means like,
I reverence for you.
Yes, I bow before you.
And normally
exactly,
when they
that's
say
right.
it, they place their hands like this and bow.
And they make a little bow. This is from the Sanskrit, and Namas means
It means bow.
reverence, and te
To
means to you. Well, then you already know a greeting in case you hadn't heard it before. Namaste, well, that's the meaning. I bow before you. In regard to politics and government, India is a parliamentary republic with a multi-party system. It has 8 recognized national parties, including the Indian National Congress and Bharatiya Janata Party, and more than 40 regional parties. The Congress, considered to be center-left in Indian political culture, and the BJP to the right. Furthermore, India is a federation with a parliamentary system governed by the Indian Constitution, the supreme legal document of the country. It is a constitutional republic, and the sources differ on whether India is a democracy. Some continue cataloging India as such, others argue that the country is a mixed regime or electoral autocracy. Federalism in India defines the distribution of power between the Union and the states. The Constitution of India, which came into force on January 26, 1950, stated that India was a sovereign and democratic republic. This characterization was modified in 1971 to a sovereign, socialist, secular, and democratic republic. As you have been able to see throughout our tour, we have seen multiple amount of businesses of all kinds. I mean, there's a huge variety. Here I could name all of the different types of businesses that could exist in the world on a single street, from food to shoes, from watches to jewelry, from jewelry to souvenirs. You will find everything through the streets of India. And talking about the economy, according to the International Monetary Fund, the Indian economy in 2022 had a nominal value of $3.46 trillion. It was the fifth biggest economy by market exchange rates and has around 11.6 trillion, the third largest by purchasing power party. Well, the truth is that right now I had to shout because there are times they come to you as maybe ask for a picture or maybe to take advantage from you and steal from your belongings, to ask for something. But we went to see if we were buying some water, and while we were talking there with the lady, then some boys approached to us and cornered us into the stall, which was very small. Then he was like asking for things, and I had my glasses on here, and he got them and he was going to take them, and I had to shout, no, no, no. Then you have to be careful with your things. I was going to tell you that we feel very safe. The truth is that we have not felt unsafe at all. There's just a lot of people around you, and each person is on their own, but there are people who are perhaps waiting for some moment to take advantage and be insistent for you to give them some of your things. They might just grab it and want to take it with them for free.
Exactly. One of the things they did was trying to take our objects. It happened with my umbrella. They took it and I didn't realize it, and then another boy gave it to me, joking. Then this incident occurred and they tried to take Gabriel's glasses, the microphone from the boys. And this is a way of forcing you to give them money indirectly.
Exactly,
because
like,
you say,
give me that back and I'll give you some money.
Exactly. In a certain way, it's not a theft.
Yeah, they are
but
pushing you
they're
to
forcing
give them some
you,
money
and
in
you feel
exchange.
scared that they're going to run with your stuff.
Until this moment, we have not been able to exchange money. We have very little foreign rupees with us. And in most places, they do not accept dollars. For example, the local where we wanted to buy some water from, and they did not accept US dollars. Since it's Sunday, we haven't found an ATM machine, and we could not exchange at the airport because they were on a lunch break. And we had to leave because the person that was waiting for us was already there and we couldn't exchange any rupees. But well, I recommend you to get some rupees at the airport. With an average annual growth rate of GDP of 5.8% during the last 2 decades and reaching 6.1% during 2011 and 2012, India is one of the fastest growing economies in the world. Until 1991, all Indian governments follow protectionist policies influenced by socialist economics. Widespread state intervention and regulation largely isolated the economy from the outside world, but a hard balance of payments crisis in 1991 forced the nation to liberalize its economy, and since then, it has slowly moved towards a free market system by emphasizing foreign trade as the inputs of direct investment. Now, as for the Indian labor force, it is made of 522 million people, guys. It is actually the second highest in the world since 2017. The services sector represents 55.6% of the GDP, the industrial sector 26.3%, and the agricultural sector 18.1%. Now, listen carefully to this fact. Currency remittances from India were for a total of 100 billion US dollars during the year 2022, and this is the highest figure in the whole world, contributed to the economy by 32 million Indians living out of India. A gigantic figure, because many Latin American countries do not even reach this number of people in their total population. For example, Venezuela should be close to that number of people living in the country today. Imagine that figure is just humongous. The main agricultural products include rice, wheat, seeds, cotton, jute, tea, sugarcane, and potatoes. The main industries include textiles, telecommunications, chemicals, pharmaceuticals, biotechnology, food processing, concrete, steel, transportation equipment, mining, machinery, and software. The telecommunications industry of India is the second largest in the world, with more than 1,200 million subscribers, contributing 6.5% to India's GDP after the third quarter of 2017, which meant that India surpassed the United States to become the second largest market for smartphones after China. Well, we finally found an exchange house, and I looked tanned because I had to roll up my sleeves because I am getting a bad tan.
Well, you're already in the third stage because you're still tanning badly.
Yes, I am in the third stage. I will look like a Nusira. Venezuelans will understand. We stopped to buy some water. Are you guys thirsty?
Oh, hey, Gabriel. This has been really tough.
It has been really tough. I know that. Look, we arrived at 7:30 in the morning. It's 5:30 in the afternoon. We hardly slept and we went out directly into the streets and we are still here.
Do
I'll
you
tell
want me
you.
to tell you something? This is a really busy place to visit.
Yes, you have to have an adventurous spirit. A real adventurous spirit. Yes, sir. Look, we stopped here to buy some water that cost us 20 rupees. I am just going to talk about the money here in India, but taking advantage of the fact that this gentleman accepted US dollars to buy some water, we asked him if he accepted to exchange US money, and he said, yes, of course, I'll change it for you. He's going to exchange $1 for 80 rupees. That is kind of the exchange rate we were looking to find out there. And that is more or less the exchange rate. Then I am going to wait for him to give us the bills to show them to you and talk to you a little more about the coin, which is interesting. I am seeing something different here. Look at this. It has like some auyamas or amulets in there. What do you think that will be for? Will it be something for good luck or maybe not to crash? What do you think? Leave your theory in the comments. Okay, my friends, in the meantime, we arrived at our lodging and I am going to lower my sleeves because it looks a little weird and I am going to have an even tan so I can achieve an even color. We were able to exchange money. It was mission accomplished. I only have right now 3 or 4 types of Indian bills, which are rupees, and I am going to show them to you right now. There are no big differences between one and another bill because the same person appears on every single bill. The question, who might that person be? First of all, the name of the currency. It is the rupee. This is how this currency is known in this Asian country. And what is the meaning of the word rupee? It means silver. That's how it is. I guess that when it was previously worked on this type of material, well, the name remained over time. The one who is in charge of issuing such currency is the Reserve Bank of India. And while it is true that sometimes the bill design changes over time, something always remains in each one of them. And it is the fact that Mahatma Gandhi always appears. And for those who don't know who he is, well, he was born here in India, October the 2nd of 1869, and died on January 30 of 1948. He was a nationalist Indian lawyer, anti-colonial, and political ethicist, and he became famous for his non-violent resistance. And it was Gandhi who led the successful campaign for the independence of India against the British Empire. And then later, he inspired civil rights and freedom movements all around the world. Now, why is he called Mahatma? Well, Mahatma Gandhi. That was not his real name. I mean Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma is in Sanskrit and it means great soul or venerable. And this was first said in 1914 in South Africa, and since that moment it has been used all over. Unfortunately, at 5:17 in the afternoon of January 30, 1948, he suffered a really serious attack. Now we are going to show you the bills. The first one and the one with the lesser denomination that I have, although I know that there are other denominations lower, as I get them I will show them to you in the different episodes that the Indian series last. But this one that I have in my hand, which is the one for 10 rupees, looks like this. Here is Gandhi, we have it right here. And now taking a look at the back, we can see the wheel that appears on the Indian flag. And we also have here, in this place, what I was showing to you a moment ago, being the 15 different languages that appear here saying the amount to which this bill is equivalent. This is the 10 rupees bill that I found in the Tuk-tuk. Take a look that here are Gandhi's glasses. Then we have the 50 rupees bill, which is the bill right here, and notice that it is practically the same, it only changes the size, the color, another different picture here on the back, okay? We also have Gandhi's glasses on this side. We also have the value of the bill in different languages, which is really curious. I had not really seen a ticket that had 15 different types of languages to say the amount which is equivalent to. Also note that the name from the Bank of India's reserve is also here, which is the entity in charge of issuing the currency. The MP is also right here. Then we have the 100 rupees bill, and notice that the color changes a lot. We have the figure of Gandhi right here, I hope it looks good from here. 100 rupees. This bill, for you to have an idea, more or less is equivalent to over $1. For example, the exchange that we had for, well, at the time was $1 for 80 rupees. Then it would be $1.20. That is the current exchange rate we have at the moment. And we also have here Ranki Kebab, Gandhi's glasses. The size also changes. And at last we have the one for 500 rupees. It is already much larger, and here is Gandhi again. It doesn't change that much. Here we can see the Red Fortress, which we were visiting earlier, and we can also see Gandhi's glasses as well. And these, my friends, are the different types of India's bills, which I have right here, certain denominations of rupees. As I tell you, if I get other denominations later, I will be showing them to you in the next videos. Gandhi was on his way to address a prayer meeting when Nathuram Godse, a Hindu nationalist, shot 3 bullets into his chest and got him severely injured. Among the bank bills that I will be missing will be the 5 rupees, the 20 rupees, and the 1000 rupees. And I believe that's it. And well, my friends, contemplating this beautiful sunset from the terrace of our hotel, I think we can end this first video on first impressions of India. I think we get the full advantage of this first day. We were absolutely knowing India from its real roots, from its center. That's right, my friends. The true India, perhaps, because what we actually believe to know about this country is that life goes really fast right here, and I believe we could realize that is true, that is real, the total chaos. And of course it is a chaos as the country which will be, according to data, or that actually could be, probably the most populated country in the world. But that is a speculation, but also might even be true. Now I would like you to leave me in the comments down below. What impressed you the most? What caught more your attention? Sure, there are many things, but I would like you to summarize which were the most remarkable for you if you would visit the country, if you had any idea about how things were in India before watching this video. I want to know that in the comments. I will not leave without first inviting you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, turn on the notification bell so you always know when I upload a new video, and you can also follow me on my Instagram account, which is Gabriel Herrera _ where I share content in the places where I was before these videos appear on YouTube. I will also leave the other guys' channels on the video's description, both La Vida de M as well as Angeliana K, my beautiful and cute wife who always accompanies me everywhere, creating incredible content from her perspective. My friends, see you in the next video. Watch out for a series of India because it will be incredible and with a lot of information about life in this country and also many curiosities. See you in the next video. Bye bye. Love you guys.